Hello, we are the Dice Jailers with your continuing campaign. I'm your Dungeon Master, Bjorn Anders. The music in this session, as always, brought to you by Sirenscape, because they are awesome, and they allow you to use their stuff for your online streaming game. Has a lot of great ambiance. We're fans. It's also great because you can freak your players out with some of the more dramatic sound effects when you test them out and find out if it's working well, and they don't need to know that it has nothing to do with the horrifying battle you may have planned. So, use Sirenscape to cause psychic damage on your players. I like to. Jordan, what do you got?
Yeah, as always, we have our other friends that you should watch, Anti-Heroes Anonymous, Ugly Radio, whose season the first episode of the new season just dropped last week for you all, so yes, that's how time works. Also watch our friends at No Latency. I believe I already said Anti-Heroes Anonymous, but just in case I didn't, Anti-Heroes Anonymous, Save the D8, and buy dice from Whitney and Smoking Glue Guns, because we love Whitney. That's the regular... Yeah, this is fine. That's the regular announcements that we have. Also, I'm doing a show, Battle Crow Radio at Annex Theater, and by the time that you're watching this, you will have missed opening night.
How dare you miss opening night?
Yeah, it opens... it's opening as we speak. As you will be seeing this. But yeah, go to Annex Theater, look for Battle Crow Radio. It's a show that I'm in. I get to play a detective, and that's all I'll tell you. Besides that, it's written by Colleen Conway Blanchard, who is one of the best playwrights in Seattle. But yeah, that's all the things. So let's go to the Jamie announcement.
Hi. Guys, you've been here before. You know what I'm going to say. But just in case you don't, hi. We'd like you to send us actual human monies. We are planning to use it to pay a young person who is in college right now and is going to do character artwork for all of our characters, which would be very, very cool. If you want to send us this actual human monies, if you can look on the part on screen that Jordan is going to point to for me, thank you. You can send it to us at dicejailers.com. Nope. Ko-fi. Nope. I don't remember. Ko-fi.com/dicejailers. That sounds correct. Yes, Ko-fi. That is Ko-fi, which Jordan just pointed to. Man, I was doing so good.
You really were.
Thank you for your attention, and money, please.
We love it.
Well-oiled machine. I don't care what anybody else says.
I love every single time Jamie gets to shine. And I love the intros every week. They're one of my favorite. Jamie, and I genuinely mean that. I love them every week.
Thank you. I feel like I should get to do a public service announcement that I had COVID and I am foggier than usual. So even I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. Don't give me that look, Jordan.
Well, if he wasn't gonna, I was gonna.
On that note, you all have been traveling along the southern nation of Glimmershore from Berryhaven en route to Tinkerborough on the backs of the summoned owl bears that Pohaku provided by the names of Expectantly, Garnet Jr., Three More, and Hell of a Ride.
That's right.
That's right. I took notes on your fucking owl bears.
Good old trusty steed. Three more.
You all had set down to set up camp less than a day's ride from Tinkerborough, and on the first watch, there was sort of this aurora borealis type shape appearing in the sky that didn't seem to be like descending down towards you, and it was quickly realized this was essentially like a major image type spell being cast as some old friends of Garnet's that you hadn't seen in quite some time, Hamir's crew, had caught up with you all and decided to just fuck with you a little bit while you had watch. You provided them with snacks via the mini tarts you purchased while in Berryhaven, as well as some berry wine. they informed you all that they are essentially going to be kind of impartial observers on this job that Garnet has lined up for you all when you reach Tinkerborough, where it's going to be you guys versus the Low Elves, where no killing allowed between all of you, and they're just here to make sure everything's on the up and up, even though they do have an emotional stake invested in who they want to be successful. Their pride will not allow them to break the rules. But if you have not clicked that long rest button yet, go ahead and give yourselves the benefits of a long rest, as with the sheer number of you that there are now in this camp, there's not enough of a concern to even bother rolling for perception checks and whatnot, especially with the level of skill of a ranger that Hamir is. Nothing sneaking up on him. So as a new day dawns and it's about time to head off, Hamir and his crew kind of looks at y'all, and Hamir goes to you and says, well, thank you all for the hospitality last night. We're gonna set out ASAP to get into town, make sure we check on things. Ideally, we should beat you guys there so that, we don't want to make anything awkward when you have your initial conversations to get things going. So it has been a pleasure. As always, Garnet, please kick their ass. Just for real. I'm supposed to be impartial. I'm not impartial. And I never will be. And Zedri comes lumbering forward, holding his rock. Gary's like, I'm not impartial. Gary is even worse. He kept me up half the night just telling me all the various ways that he thinks you guys are going to be so successful. Gary says good luck.
Thanks, Gary.
That means more to me than you will ever know.
Thank you.
Insight check. No.
And you will watch as, reaching into his vest, because again, from the waist up, Zedri wears a vest. That's it. It doesn't matter what season it is. That dude don't get cold. And he pulls out this small, sort of folded, looks almost like a steel wallet. He throws it out towards the ground, and you watch as it expands and unfolds and kind of sets itself up into this small, motorized, three-wheeled vehicle. You watch as the four of them pile into it. And he said, say hello to Gary Jr. Hamir's going, we drew straws on who got to name it, and you can guess who won. It's been a fun way to get around. Not gonna lie, if you guys make your way down to Gizmopolis, you may want to look into picking up one of these things. This is apparently a prototype, but they may have more of them. If anybody asks you about a card game I may or may not have been involved in, you didn't hear anything. They'll pile into this vehicle and just tear off towards Tinkerborough.
I think the owlbears are cooler. I'm just gonna say that.
And I figured that one without saying. So yeah, I get it.
I just had to make sure that we're all on the same page about that, right?
Reba's going to speak up. Oh, I mean, the owlbears, they're cooler, they're cuter, and they're way quieter. That thing's not sneaking up on anybody. And already I know I'm not exactly the quietest, so I don't need a loud whatever that is, just announcing my presence everywhere I go.
Although there is something to be said for that.
It would let you make an entrance.
Which, I mean, not that it's fine. Yeah, owlbears. You didn't by any chance leave any eggs behind, did they? Never mind.
The owl bears? The summoned owl bears?
I apologize if I'm not up to the gestation periods of owl bears. I know what I like to eat.
They're mammals.
I go over and kind of tap you on the shoulder, Mannix. They're just magic.
Yeah.
And also mammals. Right?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
I skipped that class.
Yes, they're just owl bears. Owls, known mammals.
Bears, not mammals.
What is
Owl
Reba's nature
bird?
score?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I mean, I've got a +6 to nature. What do I know about this? Can I roll on that too?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a nature check.
That's a 2, so 8.
I'm not rolling, I'm just
Uh,
deciding Kira doesn't know.
Reba with an 11, she's going, I'm pretty sure they lay eggs. I think the owl part is kind of more prevalent than the bear part. I think they lay eggs. Pretty sure.
all right, you stand corrected.
I'm not
I'm
particularly
sorry, this
interested
is-
in the taxonomy of this thing. I just know what, again,
I mean,
was
I
hoping
could
for a
also
little
be wrong.
snack, but if
I
there are
only
no
saw it
eggs
in,
behind,
like a
oh.
picture book when I was a kid.
I mean, can we just ask them when they get here?
apparently not, they're magical.
Well, wait, assuming that, all right.
Speaking of
I'm
Pohaki,
sorry,
would you
Bjorn.
like to
I have
start?
to ask because you've all led me down this path. Now I'm actually genuinely curious. So Bjorn, if I had like a chicken, like a roast chicken,
Yep.
and I cast Fabricate on it,
Oh no.
could I turn it into an egg?
Oh.
I both love you and hate you for these questions. I'm just going to say.
I'm sorry. That's not.
No.
That's with
No,
the
it's-
discussion of owl bears and eggs, and now I'm just like, well, wait, would that work? I don't know. I have no plans for doing this, but I had to ask.
It would be quite the use of a 4th level spell, let me tell you.
Right?
Um,
I made a bed with it once.
so here's what I'm going to say. By what my definition of raw materials is, because
Raw
that is
chicken
specific. Yeah, no. Raw materials suggests to me that this is something that you would fabricate, like the name of the spell says. And I don't think that the process of a chicken egg being laid, fertilized, and hatching goes under the realm of fabrication.
I mean, it could be an infertile egg. That's fine. It's fine. We can continue.
Fabrication, the action or process of manufacturing or inventing something. No, I'm not going to let you have this one as manufacturing on this on that.
We'll have to invent a different kind of egg. Got it.
That's
Noted.
fine.
This is the absolute.
Sorry, we can
strangest
continue. I
conver-
apologize. I
This is the
digress.
strangest conversation I think we've ever had in a game, and I love you for it. I really do.
Oh, I doubt that very much. I'm not sure what it is, but I doubt this is it.
Oh, I'm sure we've talked about weirder.
Yeah.
Regardless, no.
And speaking of owlbears, Pohaki, if you don't mind getting
Yes,
started, I wish I could
I will-
help you.
I will
The
get to the
DM
casting.
takes 5 points of psychic damage.
So let's see. What was it last time? It was it Garnet and I on one? Because we had 4 total. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had 4 of them. So I'll
Yeah.
mount up with Garnet again and continue ritual casting for as long as is needed.
All right. Somebody roll a d20 for me.
No.
Got it. Wait, that's not the 20. There's the 20. That's a 19.
19.
The best roll. -1.
Yeah, the days are getting a bit colder, but it is a very clear day, no effort on the ride into town, and you guys arrive just a handful of hours later, and you are within the town of Tinkerborough. It is clearly much larger than Berryhaven was. This is more akin, Siobhan, to about what you're used to back in the Vagabond assemblage. This is a pretty good-sized settlement. Garnet, you would know, this is the second largest settlement in Glimmershore, Gizmopolis being friggin' massive. This is a pretty good-sized town, and what you know is that the place you were specifically looking for here is a blacksmith by the name of Halric Cinderbrook, runs a place called the Glimmering Forge.
Do you know, is this a, we get to, the Glimmering Forge and it's just game on immediately, or?
So we had several days to get to the forge. So we still have a couple days, right?
Yeah, you guys are actually here, I want to say...
Well, this is perfect. Let's take the item and we'll be done before they even get here.
No, I want to go see my family.
Yeah, you guys are here a good full day early.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, this is your place, Garnet?
This is Tinkerborough.
Garnet's hometown.
Can I go see my dad's gem shop?
You're
Yeah.
driving. I'm absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
the youngest. They'll be happy to see me. We can just show up.
Yeah, and Garnet, you would absolutely know the lay of the land here. There's nothing here that you wouldn't be able to find quickly.
Yeah. So I recommend, assuming it's like the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I recommend we go to the shop, see what's up, and then I can take you back to my house and we can game plan.
Sounds great.
It doesn't take you long to come to the storefront of Garnet's father's place of business. There is a large, multicolored sign that just says Gem Speakers on it. And it's fairly quiet day for business. You see a couple people going in and out, but Garnet, you can see unquestionably inside your father, Garrick Gem Speaker, is just wrapping up a conversation with a potential customer, and with that role, you all watch as you see this very energetic, just excited gnomish man who's currently standing up on one of the actual jewelry cases, kind of pointing down at some of like the various necklaces. There's a, I mean, this would look absolutely perfect on. Wait a minute. There she is! Jumps down, flying out, just massive hug, picks you up, Garnet, spins you around. I didn't know you were coming home. I would have taken the day off. Okay, I wouldn't have taken the day off. It's, you know, time is money. I'll be right back. This is my daughter. She's wonderful, and you are here on the luckiest day you become in my shop. Tell you what, if you want that necklace, 5% off, just because she came and visited.
You should buy that necklace because he never gives discounts.
Make a persuasion check.
I like Vanna White the necklace and give her advantage on that.
I might give you disadvantage because that might be a little scary if all of a sudden this shirtless dude is just like, hey.
That's a 18. Let me know if I should add to it.
And you see as this elvish gentleman who is looking at it goes, done. Yes. Done. Gem Speaker, you run a wonderful business, drive a hard bargain, but yes, I will have payment dropped off later this afternoon, and if you would please put it in a box listed as for Hilda. Yes, for Hilda. Got it. Thank you so much. It has been my pleasure. Okay, not to be rude, but bye. I gotta get that wrapped up for you. You know, that can take a lot of work. Okay, bye. Toodles. So it goes out. Wow, okay, this is great. And he looks to the rest of you. Hi. Great to meet you. I'm assuming since you're traveling with her, you must be friends of Garnet's, therefore you clearly have good taste.
She's the best. I'm gonna just give it, like, as soon as he's like high and pointing in my direction, I'm just gonna walk over and just give him like big tight hug.
Oh, this one's a hugger. I like him. I like this one, Garnet. I like this one already.
I told you about him.
Oh, I've received letters about you. You're interesting. I like you, and you're right. She is the best. So you're in consideration for my favorite. No promises.
I kind of turn back to the others. I'm interesting.
And I'll introduce the others as well.
So, what? Were you all just escorting her back home? No, that can't be right. You have too many things you have going on. Always having so many irons in the fire.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just traveling with friends. But, so Bohaku is from, and we got to
Wood?
Yes, and we got to meet his family, and I thought it was just fair that we just kept going on the trek and came here.
Well,
This is the happiest moment of my life.
I'm betting we can make this moment even happier. I mean, not in this exact second right now. It'll happen later on. You're all coming over for dinner, right? Garnet, you are all coming over for dinner. You're going to absolutely love that. Is there anything any of you don't eat? No? Perfect. That'll make it easy.
Bohaku likes to try one of everything.
Oh, good. So
I wasn't going to say that, but she's right. Thanks, Garnet.
Just standard stones and pebbles for everyone is fine.
If that's what's the local custom, then yes.
I'm kidding. No, of course, like that would mess up your teeth. No one actually needs that. I have no idea what we'll be having for dinner, but I just know it'll be delicious.
I believe it.
So the rest of you, you just end up in our fair little corner of the world, just from traveling with Garnet. None of you. And you watch as he's looking over each of you, and something about the way he's gazing at you seems a little strange at first, and then what you're able to clock, he's not looking at your faces at all. He's very much looking how you're all dressed. He's going, well, I try and stay up on the local fashions, and I can say none of you look like locals.
So
that's not a complaint, by the way.
How I told you, so I stopped at the Harvest Festival on the way to check things out at the mine. And I met some folks, and they helped out with all the shit going down at the mine.
Oh, thank goodness.
These are the folks.
You're the folks who helped make sure that our family steak was protected and taken care of. Oh, I'm going to have to include dessert tonight.
Yay!
That's just the way it goes. I assume you're all you all wine drinkers. Yes.
Recently, but yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we'll have that to pair with a meal. Ooh. This is cause for celebration. I should get a roast. I could get a roast. I know how to roast. Of course, I'm here. I'm at home. Not a problem.
For dinner?
Yeah,
what's that?
We could go get the ingredients for dinner and meet you at home. You have to pack up Hilda's package.
It's true. Yes, I will. And he just hops up behind the counter, grabs a pen and some parchment, just scrawls out quickly. Okay. He slaps up there. Great. Wonderful. Make sure wherever you go, please have Garnet go with you. Most folks know who she's related to, and they know they can just put it on my bill, and I'll pay for it later. Or if you want to pick up the bill, I'm certainly not going to argue, because there's one thing I love to do. It's save money. And this would definitely help with savings, but I'm not going to ask you to pay for your own dinner when I offered to cook it, because that would just be very kind of gauche. And if there's one thing I believe in, it's having good manners.
That's important.
I now understand so many things about Garnet just by meeting you.
All good things, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Is Mom at home?
I don't know if you know, Hamir and his crew just got into town a little earlier this morning as well.
Did they really?
I hadn't seen them in forever. He looks like I think he had a bit of a mishap happen.
Oh,
He's
no.
got
I hope the story's epic.
hand all gone, but he's got a fancy hunting bow on there now. He seems very happy with it, and so I wasn't going to argue. And apparently, from what Zedri said, there's a Gary Jr. now. I don't entirely know what that's all about, but
I'm so happy for him.
Congratulations to them.
Should we invite them to dinner too?
I'll send post to them. If they show up, they show up, and if not, I'm sure Zedri will have gotten them into trouble.
It's just a big old family reunion.
As it should be. Well, I won't keep you from your duties. I will happily see you all when dinner rolls around, and this is going to be exciting.
As
you
we
made
leave,
all
I
of these
want...
items, everything in here. This was you. You made. Everything.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I did the cutting on everything. Some are purchased, some are on consignment, some via trade, and I've had a few artisans come in here do some of their own work. But the majority of it is my work. Well, he looks at Garnet. We just kind of runs in the family. We just have a way with gems. When it comes time to create a piece of jewelry, if I'm trying to shape something, the inner beauty of the gem just sort of speaks to me, and I'm able to just bring it out. Just the same way with my parents, my aunts and uncles, their parents before them. It's been a gift in our family for generations.
Sounds exhausting.
I won't lie, it can be, but it's also very rewarding. Both personally and financially. You must understand when you're as good as we are, and you charge for your talent, as I would expect anyone would do. If you're skilled, get paid for it. Please, it allows you to keep doing it. It's very important that those who have artistic talents are properly compensated for all their skills.
On that we can agree.
I feel like that's such an important statement. I'm just going to let it sit there so it sets in. But anyhow, I'm going to get back to work. It is amazing to see you all, and we will have roast, and we will have wine, and we will have dessert, and there will be stories, and I know a couple minstrels that owe me a favor. We might have live music tonight.
Amazing.
Maybe if
That's
they're not booked, I need to ask. If they are booked, they owe me a favor, so it'll depend on the gig. We'll see. Who knows? And if we don't have live music, we have stories in each other, which is just as good. Until then, I'll see you all.
So before we leave, I want to try to pocket something onto him.
Okay.
So I've got all of that black dragon stuff, so I still have 8 teeth. I'm going to try to pocket a tooth into his pocket.
Give me a sleight of hand check. I'm rolling his perception at disadvantage because he's very distracted and very excited by Garnet.
I just want to think about this for a moment. A tooth from Black Dragon relative to the size of a gnome.
Of a gnome.
Oh, is this going to be a particularly large thing?
I mean, depends on how big of a tooth you're trying to do. Like, I assume it's not one of the fangs.
I mean, yeah. Although I did just roll a nat 20, so maybe it is. That's a 25 on the sleight of hand.
So you notice just how distracted he is here. And at first you're thinking, yeah, I'll just slip this right in his back pocket. And then you realize the tooth, it's damn near the size of your forearm. And this guy is about 3.5 feet tall.
About the size of my forearm, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
So what you end up doing is you can see where one of the display cases, part of it is slightly open. It's where he's just taken out the necklace to start polishing it up and boxing it. And before he's able to slide it back shut as he sets it down, you just kind of slide this dragon's tooth right in there in the display case. And he did not seem to notice that you put that in there, and he certainly has not noticed the dragon's tooth yet. There's now a black dragon tooth on display along with a bunch of this jewelry.
Earth.
And I will say, for that natural 20, you also noticed you made it look like it was part of the display. Like, it looks pretty good. You centered it up pretty well and everything.
I just turned to Garnet, and I just give her a big stage wink.
Garnet kind of looks around, trying to figure out what Pohawk is up to.
Garnet, you give me a perception check.
13.
You're not quite sure. Whatever it is, he's up to something. But, you know, Kohaku is pretty harmless, so you're not too worried.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a rough and tough warrior.
I mean, you are that also, but the odds of you causing any, real trouble in a situation like this, pretty slim. All right, and you are all able to venture forth to acquire said items on the list. And you notice at first, it is clearly a shopping list for food. You can see it's requesting a roast, and there's some root vegetables on there. And then it basically, if there are any stone fruits you could possibly get in season, that would be great. Some fresh bread. And as it goes down, you're also noticing request a couple of different size, like chisels and small hammers. And you can see he's given you a full shopping list of everything he's thought of that he could possibly need, not just for dinner, but he clearly realized a couple things he needed to replace at the shop. His basically kind of like, well, you're out.
In real life, my mother did this to me last weekend. I was like, I'm going to take an ice cream on the way to your house, and I kept getting text message after text message all the way down.
Art imitates life.
Right?
Oh, you're getting ice cream while you're out. Could you just run to the Home Depot real quick? Like, what? What?
It's out.
I mean, you could just borrow my car while you're doing it and get the oil changed while you're out, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Well, darn it, on this list, where should we start first?
Well, let's start with the non-perishables first. I also want to take you to my favorite bookstore, and I'm sure there's a magic shop that we should just go to because it's cool. and oh, I haven't been to the craft store recently. Tell me where to stop. How much time do we have?
Till dinner.
So, yeah, you guys would have, oh, God's good 5, maybe 6 hours before
Time to cook.
before it be mealtime. Roast takes a couple hours, so you'd want to at least get that there quickly. So you would be able to get all of the food at the Needy Road, which is the general store. There is a magic shop called Rising Sands that you could definitely check out. And what is the name of the bookstore? There is a bookstore here that is called About Tome.
Not bad. I was kind of hoping it was Books and Done.
No.
Turn the page.
That'd be a good one. It's not the name of the one here.
Okay. Magic shop, then general store, then bookstore, then home.
Great.
Is there anything that anybody needs that they want to find a place for?
We're already going to the magic shop, so.
I mean, yeah, that'll be neat, but I mean, I don't know. Is there a specialty shop that would only be found here in Tinkerborough?
I mean, all the Tinker shop.
Let's see here.
Yeah, is there like a Times Square type? No, you know what? We should probably save that for Gizmopolis.
Let's see, the most unique place that you would find here is the Forest Vale Lodge, which is sort of a co-op of a bunch of tinkerers that kind of run a business out of this very, very large dwelling that they kind of live and operate out of.
Yeah, well, we can just go. You're the local. I follow you. I mean, I always kind of follow you, but here especially.
This is Garnet Day 2.0.
Get ready to spend money.
Okay. Before we go and spend money, can you guys give me 10 minutes?
Whatever you need, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Phantom Steed as a ritual again, but this time it's going to be like an appropriately sized for a gnome emu for you to ride upon.
Amazing.
Great. Okay. I can write it.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, yeah, you have this size appropriate emu that Garnet is just kind of potting around on as you make your way through the streets.
Love it.
A gnome on an emu. On a gnome-sized emu. That's just wonderful.
He's important. This is important.
As things are, just sort of in largely gnomish populated settlements, in Tinkerborough, when you reach the general store, the Needy Road, it doesn't take you long to realize when they say general store, yeah, they generally have everything. Like, you're actually looking around, you're just like, oh, we can get those chisels and stuff here as well. Like, the various locations of it, that's largely subdivided, so you would pay for everything separately in different locations, but it is very well subdivided, and this store is massive. Like it is. You walk in, it's practically seems like an airplane hangar, and those of you not used to shops like this, Mannix, you absolutely would be. Kira, you probably would. I would say it's probably more like Pohaku, Siobhan, and I don't think Reba would be familiar, even though she grew up in the Empire. Where she grew up, she would not have encountered shops like this.
Ye old Walmart.
Not just that. Like the interior is basically like a Walmart and a Costco just got drunk on some cheap hooch one night. This is their love child. But that's the interior. The exterior, pretty small, storefront. But as you step in, it's clearly got some sort of enchantment on it that allows it to operate not exactly like a demiplane, but not completely different either.
Huh. Neat.
Pohaku's gonna just go from the inside to the outside a couple of times, and just a big smile on his face as we experience this. Neat. You never told me about this, darn it. This is cool. I love this place. I can see why you're as awesome as you are.
Reba's just going to lean in over to you, Siobhan. You're seeing this, right? Like the outside, the inside, just very... No,
it's much bigger on the inside.
It's not just me. It's good. Thank you. Want to make sure?
Like some weird time and relative dimension in space.
Something timey-wimey is happening. I'm not clear.
It's weird.
Garnet will kind of divvy up the list. And I'll get the chisels and the tools and stuff. Do you guys want to just all go section to section, or do you want to?
I'll go get the fruits and veg.
Okay. And then Garnet wants to talk to the staff, or if she recognizes anybody, that she knows from town, and kind of subtly see if anyone's noticed the low elves, and see if we can start picking up if they've had any activity around town.
You can give me an investigation or a persuasion check, your choice.
Oh, persuasion. That's a 19. Let me know 19? If I should add to it.
Okay. No, 19 is absolutely great for that. So, asking about, it doesn't take long. You do end up clocking that there has been this adventuring group that has come in. Specifically, when you talk about the manner of speech, they mention, oh yeah, the young woman who seems to lead them. Yeah, she often says huzzah. Yeah, that one. So you become aware they're in town. They arrived yesterday, and they are currently staying. Say with that 19, they are over at a inn called the Reflecting Blossom, which is kind of on the far north end of town. It's not near the Glimmering Forge. It's also not super far away from it. But where they're at, you kind of feel like you're not likely to run into them unless you deliberately wanted to.
If Garnet, depending on who she's talking to, but she's like, okay, well, they've already come through here. They probably won't come through here again, but maybe they will. She's going to start telling people how these are, her really good friends, and she's, come to surprise them, and we're, having this fun meetup, but it's not for a couple days, so, we're trying to keep it low so that we can all have this fun surprise meetup. And wouldn't it be funny if we, played a prank on them? and like shit just started going bad for them, and then ha ha ha, we did that to you. So, feel free to like shortchange them or mix up their orders and get it wrong. And, if they wanted like silk rope, give them something that looks like silk rope, but is definitely not as strong, like that sort of stuff. And just kind of like work this into general chaos for them.
Amazing.
Give me a persuasion check, please. This could be your persuasion versus their insight.
Okay. That's an 18. I will add a d8 if I need to.
You do not need to with that. Rolled a natural 16, and these are commoners, so they don't have bonuses to it or anything. So,
and I'll definitely include some tips in that.
There's this young gnomish woman you're talking. She's like, "Oh, cool. Oh, that does sound like a funny joke. I love it. Yeah. So, I'm already getting ideas, and don't worry, we haven't seen you."
And I'll like slip her a gold and yeah.
She's like, I have a cousin who works over at the Hideaway. I will talk to him. I believe he's working in the kitchen there tonight. Oh, he'll make sure that their dinner is made properly.
Best joke ever.
I love jokes. Give yourself inspiration time. That is grade A right there. Yeah, and it doesn't take any of you very long to find what you're looking for. And anything that you don't find right away, it doesn't take but one question to be pointed to everything. And
I will be asking for 10 servings of everything at the fruit and vegetables. There's 6 of us. There's your dad. I missed his name. And then like we might have Hamir and company. So I figure we're going to need about 10 servings of fruit and veg.
You all see that Pohaku just has this massive barrel with some wheels attached to it, very much operating like a shopping cart. And he's pushing that one. The other 2 he's currently dragging behind him like a sled dog. You can see he's just got 3 massive barrels of produce.
Well, sure. I mean, Cedric, what? Hopefully they make it.
I mean, this seemed like a celebration. I didn't think it was time to skimp. Do you think I should go for 12?
No. Especially
Okay.
because we're putting this on Dad's tab. We don't skimp, but we don't waste money either.
I turn to the nearest store employee. Makes no difference like what their role is, and I just ask them how much for all of us.
Oh, goodness. I imagine it's hard for me to tell exactly without knowing everything in specificity.
It's 10 of everything. There are 10 servings of everything.
Dear God.
From fruits and vegetables. I mean, it'd be silly if I bought 10 of everything in this store. I don't think I could actually manage to wheel that around.
No, quite right. That would be preposterous. This is clearly reasonable. Yes.
I thought so too. We're having a few people over. Have you met Garnet? She's the greatest.
Oh, God, I haven't seen you since you were this tall. My goodness, it's so wonderful to see you. Oh, your father's going to be so excited. Have you stopped by and said hello to him already?
Yep, that's why we're here, because we're having celebration dinner. This is Haku's first time in Tinkerborough, and he's excited to try everything.
Well, we can see your excitement. So 10 of everything of the produce, that would run you at least probably in the neighborhood of 15 gold, I would think.
I just reach into my pocket, and he said 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just roll a d12 here.
Okay.
So I add an additional 8 to it as well. And I just, that's how much I reach into my pocket. And so I give him, what is that, 23 gold?
Yep.
Is this enough?
Yes. So what we will, of course. So we'll have done. Garnet, you all go ahead and leave everything here. We will just simply have it delivered to your father's residence. No trouble, no trouble at all. Your friend,
no trouble.
This Pohaku, he definitely knows how to do business. Very good. Yes, we will have that delivered post haste.
It's been said I'm a master negotiator.
Oh, by who?
I just said it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it has been said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Siobhan and Kira are also master negotiators. It's been said.
Everything is being arranged to be delivered thanks to Pohaku's 8 gold tip on that, where they're just like, yeah, no problem. We will take care of the delivery.
Garnet's gonna turn around. Do not let his reputation precede him, please.
Mum's the word.
Thank you.
I'm incognito.
No, we're in Tinkerborough.
Owner being like, "You're Pohaku."
Let me show you my finest wares.
All right. Well, that takes. Can I include a note with that delivery?
Of course.
Whatever
you need.
A quick note so that in case this gets ahead and this is Mom's first realization that something's going on, it's fine.
Oh no!
Good thinking.
You know.
Mom's like, casually committed you to cook for a dozen people tonight. Have fun.
We'll be going back to help.
Reba's gonna go. I mean, if it's all the same to y'all, if I can help with the delivery on this, she flexes, and I could at least help a little bit of prep in the kitchen. And Siobhan, I'll tell you, I did some help for her family there. As long as you keep me away from the actual cooking part, I know what I'm doing.
And she's excellent at reaching things in high shelves.
Really good at that.
Garnet looks around. We don't really have many of those, but yeah. I mean, I get it.
I'll see y'all when you show up there. I'll help with the delivery and help with putting things in various places, and also maybe help explaining the quantity if need be.
Yeah, just remind them you're my friend from the mines, and you'll be fine.
With pleasure. And she looks to the gnome who had taken the funds for Pohaku. Well, go ahead and put me to work. I'll be happy to help out. Garnet, you bring the most peculiar characters to our fair settlement, but I appreciate all of them. Yes, you are tall and strong, and we will definitely find things for you to do. And those two will head off.
Thanks for that.
Who went to go get the meat? Because I noticed that I'm the only one who has barrels worth of quantity.
Yeah,
so,
I did. I went to get the meat.
Did you get enough? Like, I noticed you don't have any barrels.
Yeah, because the only thing on the list really was a roast and some cuts of back bacon. So,
okay,
didn't exactly need a barrel.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to run low.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, cool.
Says Kira,
Thanks, Kira.
with a reasonable amount of food.
You are a wise and wonderful person.
Not going to say no to that. Is there anything here that we wanted to get for, like, us? Might not be a bad idea to stock up on some things. Unless we don't have things to stock up on. I was going to ask if they had any potions.
Say, asking, they don't have any, like, magical potions here. Like, you can... Like, the closest thing they have to a potion is basically the equivalent of Pepto-Bismol. Like they've got some
Then I will get
antacids
some.
for you.
You should get that. Yeah, you should probably. Yeah.
As the
More
thing about
fruit.
the last the absolute volume of food. Yeah. You can pick up a basic antacid. It'll just cost you 1 silver.
Okay.
I'll go look for toys. Like, literally toys.
You'll find them easily. What kind of toys is Pohaku looking for?
Well, so this is Nomi, and it's all tinkery, right? So this is going to be like, basically I'm going to look for whatever is the most, like, truly mechanical and, and antithetic to living in the woods and in the forest. And I will get a bunch of them and ask if they... Well, wait, no, I can't exactly do delivery down to the wood. That would be weird. Hey, could you have these delivered to the Whispering Wood?
They'll be like, no.
Ah,
We'll set them right at the edge of the trees.
yeah. Okay, I'll get like 5 toys and just stick them in my bag then.
Yep.
I was gonna like buy them out and send them, but I can't really send them to the Whispering Wood, so I'll get 5.
Yeah, and so you're looking for like just the most tinkery type stuff.
Very tinkery, yes.
Very cool. So what you're able to find is there are lots of different varieties, and you pick out 5 of them. They're made mostly of wood. There are a couple like metal pins in there for like reinforcing, but you can see that once you like wind it and start it up, it keeps itself going almost like a perpetual motion machine, and the body mechanics of how these creatures move are actually really close to the actual skeletal structure of what these creatures would be. So there's like kind of a large winged, you can tell it's supposed to be like some sort of bird of prey, and then a couple different types of lizards, like a large cat, and like a wolf. Yeah. So you're able to get those, and you have 5 toys of various beasts. They have quite the variety. I'll even let you pick which 5 beasts they are.
Okay. How much do I owe them?
You would just owe them 1 gold piece for that.
Okay.
2 silver apiece.
Okay. I give them 2.
They do not say no.
Because this is what, D&D characters do, is, suddenly start just flashing like, here's 3 months worth of salary as a tip. So,
Yeah.
have a great day.
It is one of my favorite tropes about this game.
Yeah.
I'm a bad tipper in D&D land because they tell me it costs 3 gold and I give them 3 gold.
Here's 30. Have a nice day.
I think Kira's
And
gonna...
I would never want to pay full price. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Kira's gonna
Aaron is trying to
grab...
haggle him down. Siobhan's paying the exact amount. As for Pohaku, it's like, what's
It's just
money?
money.
It's like however much I reach into the pouch, and that is how much I'm handing you.
To be fair, Manix is also his what's money, so.
Yeah.
Kira's
For Manix,
just
it's
gonna
more
grab...
flex.
Just gonna grab some extra rope and a grappling hook just
Love it.
because it's here.
Can be a
So
fun toy too.
for that, I would say just like mark off probably. I imagine it'd probably be 5 silver. And if it's not, that's what it costs here right now.
Sure.
Not important enough that I'm actually going to look up that cost for you.
Word.
What we know that what we're transporting is like a barrel.
You don't know exactly what it is yet. All you've been told is it's some sort of goods that need to be delivered.
Take some crates.
Yeah, it's enchanted armors, weapons, tinkerer's kits, potions, and poisons is
okay.
what you've been told. It's just a
So I'd like to. I don't want to necessarily buy. No, let's do it because we're here. I want to buy some crates. And include that in the delivery to the house. Because I think that might be a good decoy thing later.
Love it. So yeah, just mark off a single gold piece for that. Crates are not very expensive.
When Pohaku was going through the toy aisle, did there happen to be the can of beans that's actually snakes?
Yes.
I'd like to try and sneak and get one of those.
You want to stealthily buy one?
I would like to try.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me either stealth or sleight of hand check.
They're the same. That's 23. Almost as good as I can do.
Pohaku, give me a perception check.
Oh, okay. That is a 10 for 9.
Yeah, not a problem. You bought the beans that's got the pop 'em out snakes inside.
Love it. I'm just gonna enjoy having these.
Go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Yep, sure will. This won't become anyone's problem ever.
And I do apologize. They aren't beans. It's peanut brittle.
Mixed
I
up.
was gonna say they're house peanut brittle.
Yeah, it's peanut brittle.
I really ruined someone's day once because they tried to trick me with one of those, and I didn't open it, not because I realized what it was, but because I don't like peanut brittle.
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah, one of those things would absolutely.
It was
work
destined
on
to
me.
fail.
I love peanut brittle. That would work on me so easily.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need from here.
And I'm just wondering how many sessions it's going to be until that comes and bites me in the ass as the DM. Because
Don't worry about it.
So
Why
we
do I
polymorph a springy snake into
why do I let you all have things? It always comes back to haunt me. Always does.
Like, I'm just trying to emulate Emily Axford, so...
Strong. Alrighty, so what else is the plan for you guys? There was that bookstore that Garnet had mentioned. There's also a magic shop. What do you all want to do? Well, you have some time.
You guys want to go to the magic shop?
The magic shop sounds interesting.
Very cool. And the magic shop itself, Rising Sands, it's kind of near like the eastern edge of the town. As you're heading that way, can somebody roll me a d12, please?
I'll do it.
Okay.
D12 should be fine.
4.
4.
That's the worst roll.
Can you roll me percentile dice?
Doubles. 18.
18, okay.
There's an 18% of 4 Bodax ambushing you right now.
It's just like 4 Bodak feet.
I am going to create just like the most charming and well-mannered Bodak, and you're all going to feel bad is what's going to happen.
No.
You're all going to feel
No,
so
Definitely
bad.
not feel bad. Like
No.
Eldritch blasting the shit out of him.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, I feel terrible. This is awful.
You have no one but yourself to blame.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if I introduce one of those at any point, it is just going to be shoot first, ask questions
On
later.
site.
It's gonna
On
be
site.
yeah.
I'll be like, that's meta knowledge. That's meta knowledge. But I don't care.
It's gonna be a Bill Murray Zombieland type situation. Is what we're gonna be.
Hero learned about Bodax in the academy.
I'll allow it. So as you all are heading along sort of one of the largely exterior paths of the settlement heading towards this magic shop, you hear a very large commotion coming from a farmhouse just up ahead. And yeah, anybody who's not in Roll20, go ahead and hop into that, please.
Why would we need to do that? Roll20 is for combat.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
But we're in town.
You are. And there's some other things in town. As you can see up ahead of you, there is this farmhouse not far, and you can see there's this individual in a full sprint heading towards you, and it's just going, monsters, the farmhouse, and he is just in a full sprint. And looking down the way, you see these terrifying looking undead creatures. No, they're not Bodax, but they look largely kind of like decaying knights. There are, let me just get them all so they're visible. There are like 3 of them back close to the farmhouse itself. 2 more are closer to you. The one that is the most central is kind of just giving out gestures as these creatures are closing in on some of the farm workers here, and I'm going to need you all to roll for initiative.
Cool.
I'm so glad we're coming across undead when our cleric isn't here.
Right?
Oh no, that's not a good. Well, maybe.
Only we had someone who specialized in this sort of thing.
25 to 20?
24.
Nat 20, 24.
Ooh.
Phew.
20 to 15?
15?
19.
Wait, do I get advantage? Why do I think I get advantage?
You get advantage if
You get
you're
advantage.
like level 7.
Okay.
Which one of you guys was the 19?
That was Nate.
Manic Soul.
What'd you get there, Siobhan?
10. I rolled 7 and I was like, oh, I get advantage. So I rolled an 8. Like, cool. Good.
Alrighty. Well, you all did pretty well on initiative versus all of them. Garnet, you are up first. As you can see, these creatures here, they do not look pleasant at all. And you can see the skin on their faces. It is somewhat decayed and gaunt, largely around the mouth. You can see where some of it started to actually peel away, and you can more see the skeletal structure around them. And each of them, on one of their hands, you can see what looks like this like necrotic energy just kind of ebbing off of it. What does Garnet want to do?
She moves up. Okay. This one.
Yeah.
He's gonna throw a dagger at it.
Alrighty, let me... I will actually allow you to do this with advantage. These creatures do not know you are there yet, as they are very focused on these individuals. So,
Love that.
go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
That was 24 to hit.
24 absolutely hits. Go ahead and give me all that wonderful damage.
Heck yeah. That is 20 psychic damage.
Dang. So yeah, you all watch as Garnet hurling out this psychic blade collides with this creature, and you can see its body just kind of shudder. And
24. Sorry.
24, even better.
And then she will bonus
form
action.
turns in all of your directions.
So that is not the best. 16 stealth.
16. So this bush here, it's fairly wide. You feel like you've got a good amount of cover from anything looking directly at you. If they were to go out around the sides of it, you'd be spotted because this is an open field.
Okay.
But all in all, you feel pretty good on that. After Garnet, that will make it Pohaku Kahu, then Mannix, you're on deck.
Okay, well, I prepared spells for, not combat. So...
Because we're traveling.
Yeah, so I was not ready for this, so I am going to move to here, and I'm going to say to Siobhan, don't worry, we got you. And then I'm casting at 4th level invisibility, and I am turning myself, Mannix, and Kira all invisible.
Yo.
Very nice.
So 1, 2. So I've moved 15 feet, and I will go 5, 10, 15 to there. Because I did not Blade Song, which I probably should have done first. But that's okay. There we go.
Alrighty, and I'll put those little ninja markers on you guys so I can help remember that you are invisible. Mannix, it is now your turn.
Was that an invisibility or greater invisibility?
Just normal invisibility.
Okay.
So it will
Cool.
break. It will break as soon as you attack or do something like that. Yeah. You'll get off one real good round.
Is this area, if I were to, just for whatever reason, want to move to this little elevated area to the right of where we are, would I have to be on the edge to make ranged attacks to
Yes.
fellas down
Yeah,
below? Okay.
It's about 10 feet of elevation.
Gotcha. Well then. Let's take a look at this fancy stick I got.
That staff does some pretty fancy stuff.
It sure
If you're doing
does.
something that has an attack roll, you are invisible. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am going to. If I move up to. If I dash up to here. I mean, I understand I'm invisible as well, but does this provide cover from range attack when I become visible?
You would have partial cover there, yeah.
Okay.
So it would give you a little bit of a AC boost against anything trying to shoot at you from range.
All right. I'm just going to dash up to there.
Good.
I'm going to sit tight.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, they all get to do stuff. Let's see. Mannix, Pohaku, and Kira are all invisible. Garnet is hidden.
Wonderful. I feel like I see where this is going. All right. I'm just standing there. Fucking bystander.
Oh, goodness. Let me make sure I double check which creatures these are, what order they're all going in. Okay. No, they have pretty good range on those. So yeah, the first one here is going to fire. You watch as it extends one of its hands towards you, Siobhan, and these two rays of necrotic energy come flying out of there as it fires two grave bolts at you.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure that 10 misses.
Yeah.
How about the dirty 20?
That hits.
Okay. So on that, you're going to suffer 9 points of necrotic damage as this grave bolt hits you. Did not roll very well on that. That is going to be this one here that fired at you. This one that has taken damage, that one is going to turn invisible.
A cheap hack is that.
Right?
It's gonna steal your entire style.
Yeah.
It comes out of invisibility. It's wearing a championship belt.
Take her.
I lied. That one
Still
is not
standing.
going to turn. That one's not going to turn invisible. I was looking at the wrong one. So that one's still here. It's this one up here that's going to turn invisible.
Why?
Because it's fun. It's fun.
For who?
Me, of course.
Okay, well, as long as it's fun for some. Wait a minute.
That one's going to move a bit closer, and it will take a couple shots at Siobhan as well.
Literally just standing here. We want to put that out again.
Yeah, these things,
Siobhan doing that.
strangely, they don't care that much.
Khajiit done nothing wrong.
I don't think the 8 hits you, but the 23 is going to.
Yep.
Ooh, that one I rolled much higher. Go ahead and take from that one, there'll be a total of 15 points of necrotic damage as the grave bolt collides with you. And the other one is going to... Is it within range to do that? It is not within range to you, Siobhan, but where it stepped out, it can now see Garnet. Garnet, this is going to be magic, so I believe you will have advantage on this. And Garnet, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
That is 17.
17. So you feel this arcane energy go over you, and it's trying to constrict your movement and hold you in place, but you are able to resist that. The hold person spell does not take effect. It is all 4 of their turns. Kira, you are up.
Oh, was this guy that just did that?
That was... Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Okay. Then Kira.
Ohaku will remember this.
This I believe.
Kira's gonna boom up to here.
Mhm.
And then, you know what? It's a classic, but we might as well do it big. Which one of these is the one that you said kind of looks like the leader, or that looked like they were barking orders?
This one back
That one?
here.
Now, what is the range on that spell? That's close enough. Okay, so then I'm going to cast a 4th level chromatic orb of ice at it.
And since you are invisible, this is at advantage.
Sure is. And that is going to, well, it's not a crit, but it is a 23 to hit.
That absolutely hits. Go and give me some damage.
Alright. That is 30 points of cold damage.
Ooh, very nice.
And now they can see me again.
So as Kira appears, you see this freezing orb fly across this field, connecting with this creature, and it turns its gaze directly to you, Kira.
Hello.
You know what's fun about that, Kira?
It's his turn next, isn't it?
It sure is.
Of course.
Yeah, this grave bolt thing is so much fun. It's going to throw a couple grave bolts at you. So the first one, ooh, that is a natural 1. As you watch as it tries to throw the bolt, the ice is still frosted over its arm. The bolt just goes shooting up into the sky and it pops that arm outwards and throws another one at you. That one is going to be a 24 to hit.
Dang, I can't even do anything about that with shield. How dare.
So, first, go ahead and take 19 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Cool. A strength saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, math. That is... Yep, so we gotta subtract. That is a 17.
17 is good enough as this gray bolt collides with you, and you all watch as it expands into these shadowy tendrils that try and hold Kira in place, and you're able to just fight off against it. Definitely wasn't your favorite thing that has happened to you recently. That is that creature's turn, which brings us to the end of the round, which is Siobhan Finnegan.
Oh, good. Bonus action, I would like to rage.
I had a feeling that might happen.
And as part of my rage, I'm going to use Instinctive Pounce to go 20 feet. Like, immediately just run. Let's see, 5, 10, 15. There's some chance of me landing on top of Pohaku because I can't see him. And he's 20 feet away from where I am in the direction that I need to run.
I would say between your just natural barbarian instincts and his combat prowess, he's going to make sure you don't land on him.
Cool. And it's like, so I'm not doing it on purpose, but just, it's in his, anyway, and then it's another, whatever, I have 40 feet of movement, so I close on this particular fucker, and I am going to attack him. Recklessly, because I'm fucking pissed.
I bet you are. Make some attack rolls.
Alright. That is a 28 to hit.
Oh goodness, that definitely hits. Give me damage, please. What are all these boxes that are appearing on the map?
Nate, are you
I'm
drawing
sorry.
things?
I'm drawing things.
That is, let's see, 6 plus 6 is 12, 14 points of damage.
So you just run up to this one, doing your instinctive pounce, charging in, glaive at the ready, just bring it up with this huge, massive, upward arcing slice, and you just completely bisect this thing from hip to shoulder, and that one is no longer here to cause problems.
And that was bonus action movement, so...
Was that all your movement?
Let's see. I have 40 feet, and I think I needed, I think I have 5 feet left, so I'm just gonna start charging at the next one to move another 5 feet closer to this next one.
So how far did your instinctive pounce go? 20?
20 feet?
20.
And what's your movement total?
So yeah, if 20 feet got you to me,
yeah.
then you've got
40.
another 10 feet to
So
go.
you got another 10 feet of movement.
Okay. From where I am?
Yep.
Alright. There then.
Excellent. So that is going to allow some of these farm workers. This one is going to run the hell inside. This one is going to dash, get back behind the building. This one is also going to dash back behind the building. They don't want to be anywhere near this violence. And that one is just going to dash off the map. So that brings it back to the top. Garnet, you are up. Pohaku's on deck.
Okay. I'm going to... Well, I'm gonna up here because that one hit me. Actually, before I do that, this one hasn't seen me, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack that one because that should be at advantage.
Yeah, give me an attack roll.
Oh, good. That is 23 to hit.
23 definitely hits. Go and give me damage, please.
18.
18 points of damage as another one of these psychic blades connecting with one of these creatures. They definitely are not a fan of you and your psychic blade nonsense here, Garnet. It is clearly hurting them.
I am going to hide in this bush, and that's only a 10, so I'm going to add my d8.
Yeah, go ahead.
That makes it a 17.
17.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely get the sense that the grunts here, they're not paying much mind to you, but that big one is staring right at where you are in that bush.
Okay. Oh,
Pohaku, you're up. Mannix, you're on deck.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I am going to just double checking. I should have done this earlier. Let's see. Spell ends if I attack or cast a spell. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and bonus action Blade Song.
Yep. Blade Song is action.
Dart dancing. And then I will... Yeah, it's not really far enough here. So this is the guy that I know got Garnet earlier. This guy... Yeah, you know what? I am going to use my action to dash, and I'm going to move up to there.
Love it.
That is it.
Okay. Manic Soul, you are up, and then a bunch of these creatures are on deck.
It's just these two, correct? There are others that we can't see?
So Siobhan has killed one. There is one here, and then there are two over here.
Gotcha.
And there's one you can't see.
There's one we can't see.
If I move to here, and if something were to go in a straight line for me, 100 feet long and 5 feet wide, could I get all three of these guys?
Yeah. You could.
Just,
Yeah.
Just as a for instance.
Just as a for instance. Okay, well, I'm going to use my fancy new staff, and I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt.
My thing.
That is Dex saves by all of them, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, let's see here. Ooh, that's one of each type of creature. Okay, we'll start with this one. Okay, what's the spell save DC?
16.
16. That's a fail. That's a success. And that's a success. So the one closest to you fails, but the other two succeed, so they'll take half damage. And go ahead and give me that ridiculous amount of lightning damage.
Alrighty. Let me just double check that. I believe it is. Yep. And 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, D6. And it's 23.
23. So you all watch as all of a sudden this blast of lightning comes flying out of this bush, tearing through these creatures. The one closest takes a beastly amount of damage. That one takes a little less. And that one takes a little less. And just sort of as the smell of ozone begins to start to dissipate, you see Mannix that has now appeared, staff extended, the crackling lightning fading away. Nice use of a spell.
It looked fun.
That is going to make it these creatures' turns. And a bunch of you are a lot closer, and so it's time for some melee things to happen. So first off, this first attack will be at advantage as that one appears next to you, Kira.
Oh.
So we are going to swing on you with a Deathly Claw. That's a natural 20.
Oh no!
Gee, if only our cleric was here.
Right?
So go ahead and take 10 points of necrotic damage. No, I'm sorry. That would be 16 points of necrotic damage. Go ahead and roll your Spirit Guardians.
Okay. Or Spirit Shield, rather.
Yeah.
Reduce that by 6.
Okay.
And the second attack will completely miss you, as that is a natural 4. This, as it appears, this claw digging into you, it causes you to double over. You're almost glad that it does, as the second swing just goes over your head as you're wincing from the pain. That is that one's go. We now, let's see here. Let's see, 5, 10, 15. Well, this is going to be interesting how this works, because you're in melee with something, Pohaku, but it doesn't know you're there, so that technically gives it disadvantage. I'm fine with it having disadvantage. So it is going to fire 2 grave bolts at Siobhan with disadvantage.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
That's a natural 1. It's a natural 6. So both these shots just go errantly wide on you, Siobhan. Nothing doing there. Just something about your presence, Pohaku, is able to just throw it off, because that's how the mechanics work. And
I'm quietly blowing into his ear.
Love it.
The enemy just... I'm confused and slightly aroused.
Yeah, slightly.
You may make an opportunity attack if you would like, Pohaku, as... no, that one can't go yet. Never mind. What is going to happen, though, is... You guys are just a target-rich environment. Yeah, this is what we'll do. This one's just going to walk right on up to you, Mannix, the one that took the worst of the lightning damage.
Uh-oh.
Because it doesn't like you a whole lot.
Why?
And it is going to attempt some life drain attacks on you.
No.
So the first one is a 23 to hit.
Oh shit.
That hits.
But what if it
And
was?
the second one is a 14 to hit.
Like, seriously, guys, I apologize, but I did not prepare any attack spells.
Normally
Yeah.
a 14 would hit, but I have a new cool staff, and I'm going to cast shield.
Excellent. Good use of it. So go ahead and take 10 points of necrotic damage. And then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
So, where can I use my reaction in there?
That is your reaction for shield.
Oh, for shield.
Yep, that was your reaction.
Well, okay, I guess. So, I'm sorry, you need me to do a what now?
Constitution saving throw.
And it was 10 damage?
Yep, 10 necrotic damage.
I'm resistant to that. Is that
So you have it. So you'll only take 5.
yay? Hit points at a premium. Constitution saving.
Yes, please.
14.
14. Your maximum hit points are not reduced from that attack.
Oh,
Nice.
great.
Super good.
That now makes it Kira, your turn.
All right. Getting a closer look on at this thing, what do I think it is besides just vague undead?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana, that is gonna be, because Kira went to school, 16.
16. These creatures, they all look like what happens when a warlock makes a pact with something and it goes wrong.
Gotcha.
Their life force being drained away and possibly even their entire life being taken by this patron, either through serving a incredibly evil patron, or perhaps this was a punishment for not following their patron's commands.
Right. I'm just, you poor soul. You shouldn't have gotten that close to me. And I'm going to attack. I'm gonna attack with Icebound Blade at this one right in front of me. And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All right, so that is going to be the page just decided to refresh. So that's going to be 6 points of cold damage from the spell.
Okay.
And then 7 points of piercing damage from the blade itself. And then, that's right. And then another 2 points of lightning damage from the blade itself.
Very nice.
And then I'm going to quicken and cast Thunderwave through the sword.
Hell yeah, that's a con save, isn't it?
Yes, it is. 15.
It's gonna be close. What's my bonus? How much damage? This thing's gonna get knocked back 10 feet.
Let me roll that. Rolling damage. I should have brought out more d8s, but I didn't think we'd be fighting today. Uh, 19 thunder damage.
Damn. So you cut into this one deeply with your Icebound Blade, and then hitting the Thunder Wave, it goes flying back 10 feet, clattering to the ground, barely keeping itself standing, and you can see it is having a hard time staying on its feet. It's a massive amount of damage done.
And then I'll say after he's flown back, even though probably no one can hear this because Thunder Wave boom, but just, no, come try and hit me again.
Very, very, very nice. Okay, that brings it to the big one's turn. It can...
Where's the...
You know
sorry,
what?
Bjorn, remind me which one is the big one?
Yeah.
This one right here.
This one, yeah.
That one, okay. That's what I thought. Making sure.
Baku, you can take an opportunity attack if you want, and it is going to start walking away from you.
I will not.
Okay. It's going to come visit you.
I have
It's gonna
other
come
plans for him.
Visit you, Garnet. And it's going to see if it can hit you with its Deathly Claw, because it did not enjoy any of your
Oh,
psychic
no,
daggers.
that's just a normal attack, isn't it?
Yep, these are definitely normal attacks.
I was getting ready to counterspell his ass. That's why I didn't attack.
Garnet, first attack is an 18 to hit. And the second one is a 17 to hit. Okay. So the first one does 13 points of necrotic damage. Yeah.
So you rolled both those attacks at the same time. I do have the thing where if I take damage, I can go invisible. With that would make the second attack disadvantage.
Yes, it would. So go ahead and take that 13. And since I already declared it, and that's what he was going to do, that is a natural 5. So the second one will not hit. As this first claw digs into you, Garnet just vanishes, and it's still very focused on where you were, and it just brings its claw again straight down, and you just... Garnet's a gnome. She's not that big, so she just barely is able to sidestep, and you guys can see that this claw just goes barreling straight into the dirt. You all know Garnet's fighting style well enough. You would know this guy just missed. Big time.
You hear a little giggle.
That means Siobhan Finnegan, you are up.
Well, I guess I saw that.
You absolutely saw that.
And so I'm gonna go charging up to that fucker, pick on someone your own space. And, reckless.
Love it. Give me some attack rolls.
Double 17, so 26.
Definitely hits. Oh yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Oh hell yeah, that's 9, 11, 17.
Dang. Yeah, you bring your glaive right into this one, slice in deeply, a chunk of its body coming off. It is definitely hurting. Go give me that second attack.
Oh, I got 2 attacks now. Fuck yes. So that is a 29 to hit. No.
Well,
Yes,
it's a natural 20. Natural 20
Yes.
hits, and that's a crit.
Yep. So, okay, I'm sorry, I have to ask this literally every time.
Double the dice, add your modifier, add your rage bonus.
Okay. Alright, awesome. So 7 times 2 is 14, plus 6 is 20, plus rage, so 22.
Damn.
This turn brought to you by math.
So you have this thing staggered, and you just bring your glaive back around, just cutting deep into its chest, some of the ribs actually breaking away. And this thing it's real hurt. It's still standing, but it's hurt.
Alright, bonus action Polearm Master.
Oh, that's right, you have that.
And if I said reckless, that's like everything is reckless, right?
Yes.
Okay. But that's a natural 3 and a natural 1. So I'm going to say, unless an 11 hits.
It does not. You cut into it so deeply on that crit that it was so staggered that when you spin your glaive back around to thrust back out with the butt end, it just completely misses because it's leaned back so far trying to keep its balance.
Damn it.
Yeah, that was impressive. It's going to bring it back to the top of the round. Garnet, you are up. You are very invisible, and Siobhan has just teed off on this thing, and it is looking so rough.
I would like to attack it.
I bet you would, and this would be at advantage.
So I'm actually using Court Digger this time. So it's 28 to hit.
That absolutely hits with all that wonderful sneak attackedness.
28.
How does Garnet want to do this on the Reclock Mastermind?
Up the butt. She's a little bigger this time, and she's short, and she's just like.
So you just go around right to this thing's backside and just upwards, and you feel it hit the tailbone, and the actual, like...
You know what? No.
The actual pelvis, you can feel just the bone shatter, and it just crumbles to the ground in just an absolute heap.
Excellent.
Why?
You're good, Jamie. It's my job to narrate these things, that's why.
Garnet's just gonna move a little bit and continue to hide in this bush.
Love it. You can go ahead and give me that hide check.
These are not great this time. 15.
You feel very hidden from these other creatures.
Cool.
Pohaku, you're up. Manic Soul's on deck.
All right. Well, I am gonna finally do something here. Man, of course he went in for melee attack. I was all ready to counterspell his ass. All right. So I am just going to go ahead and make an attack with Mistletoe here on the guy next to me.
Advantage.
Yup. That is that a nat 20? Trying to look at what that dice is there.
It says 24.2.
24. Oh, it was a 19. Pardon me. Okay, so that is not. So, yeah, that is 12 points of damage from Mistletoe.
Very nice.
I am no longer hidden, and then I'm going to do it again with Booming Blade.
Okay.
Or, pardon me, Obsidian Shards. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
So yeah, wait a minute. Why is that showing Why is it showing? Sorry, I just realized Mistletoe. It's showing like nat ones on those. Those were not nat ones.
Like
that's what it's
19 on. There's a 19 on my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, it's showing me. So all right, whatever. Okay. So well, like the first attack, because I'm seeing like the 12 and 12 and roll 20.
Yeah, those you rolled 2 12s. That 24 was your initiative from before.
Right. So no, what that is saying then is those were actually 2 nat ones because I have a plus 11 to attack.
Yeah, that's what that's saying.
Okay, so I completely whiffed that first attack.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's weird. That is not what it looked like on my screen, like when I rolled the dice in D&D Beyond, but that's what it's showing. So I did not connect on that.
Weird.
But this one should connect, and then this is with Booming Blade here, so let's see here. That's weird. I don't know why it didn't do that, but whatever. So, okay, so the damage just from the dagger itself is 11. And then, what is it, an extra D8 at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 points of, that is magical slashing damage. And I'm going to go ahead and run over to here.
All right. Well, it'll take an opportunity attack on you.
Sure.
Seem real concerned about that.
He's going to be a 23 to hit.
Shield.
Okay. You just put up this arcane barrier, and his claw just bounces off of that.
So that is the end of my turn.
Alrighty, Manix, you are up, and you've got one of these things right up in your face.
It sort of changes what I was going to do a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see.
I think I need to switch the design of the dice that D&D Beyond is using, because I legit thought those were nat 20s. It's using the Baldur's Gate dice, and I think that was the Mind Flayer rather than the Larian.
Gotcha.
All right, well, you know what? We'll lightning bolt again, straight down the line.
You would have to move like up one square to do that, but you could absolutely do that. Yeah.
If he just holds it out like this, get some English on it.
Curve the lightning bolt.
He just spins it above his head again and just slams the butt of the staff into the ground.
So the closer one to you fails on its dex save. The one that's further away succeeds, so it'll take half damage. But go and give me that lightning. Let's see what happens. That closer one is not going to survive unless you roll absolute piss.
That's a 30.
That's it?
You see this very displeased Manix step out of the cover of this tree, extends the staff right against the chest of this creature in his face, and the lightning extends outward, and you watch as it just atomizes both of these. There's just nothing left. Yeah, it is. There is one left. There is one left. It's going to throw a couple grave bolts at you, Kira.
Coward, come hit me yourself.
Its intelligence is pretty good. So that's a 23 to hit.
Shield.
Okay. That's a nat 20.
What the nine hells?
What do you think?
God damn, what? Shit.
I would have counterspelled it, but I fucked up.
So you are going to take... That's a lot of dice. No, I didn't roll very high, though. You're only going to take 15 points of necrotic damage.
I'm unconscious.
As...
Oh, wait, okay, sorry. Spirit shield.
Reduce it by at least 4, please.
Were
Reduced
you
by
done
11.
reading the...
What was that?
Reduced by 11.
Oh, shit.
Were you done reading all of your damage, though, Bjorn?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Oh, that was? Okay.
Was it?
That was all the damage.
I'm still...
No,
I was
did not roll.
expecting it, like you to be like, so that's 15 points of necrotic, and then...
Plus, no.
Okay.
I got 15 damage on 4d10 plus 3.
That's almost as bad as that fireball I threw the other day.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing's as bad.
Which
as that
I mean,
fireball, my
like,
friend.
several months ago at this point.
The pain is fresh, though.
Yeah, that one never goes away.
But Kira, it's your turn now.
I said, hit me yourself, you coward. And I'm going to cast a 3rd level chromatic orb of lightning at him.
Make an attack roll.
That's a natural 20 right back at you.
Amazing.
This is going to kill it. I just want to know how much damage you do.
Yeah. It's going to take too long for me to roll double the dice, so I'm just going to multiply by 2.
Beautiful.
Alright.
Few things I love more than a natural 20 that is just beyond overkill on some chump that's got 2 hit points
So,
left.
28. So, 56.
So, just so you know, that is more than its max. That is more than its max by 20.
That's fine.
What happens to it? Just walk me through this.
It's just a pure, I said, hit me yourself, you coward, chromatic orb of lightning, and just, I mean, it's already undead, so we can probably see some of the bones, but I'm talking 90s cartoon getting electrocuted.
This thing doesn't have hair anymore. Yet somehow, in the silhouette, the hair is standing up on
It's been annihilated from reality. It never existed.
Yeah, and as you watch, like, just whatever skin was left is gone, and all you see is this, like, perfectly standing skeleton there that then tumbles to the ground, the skull sitting in midair for half a moment, defying gravity, as needs be for this beautiful nat 20 before it clatters to the ground. Everything just...
Since we're going full cartoon, can it sound like xylophone when the bones all collapse down?
Obviously. Yeah. Completely that is what happens, because that was wonderful. And you are all out of combat, and you can kind of see there's some heads peeking out from the farmhouse after half a moment. Is it okay out there?
Coast is clear. What
Thank
happened?
you. To be dead honest, we have no idea. Just doing some work like you do in the middle of the day. And all of a sudden, these creatures start coming up in this direction. I need a drink. I need a drink. Thank you. Can we, Sarah? Sarah, do we have anything we can offer to them? And here, you see this halfling woman comes running out. She's got 2 bottles that like wine bottles with some sort of liquid in them. From our cellar? Thank you.
That sounds great. It'll go great with dinner tonight. You're not like, this has never happened before. You're not doing anything weird and suspicious. Getting into stuff you shouldn't be getting into?
No, we did cross-pollinate some berries with some of our zucchini. We thought it would make sort of a zesty flavor, really just, make a salad nice and vibrant. It didn't take very well, though, so...
Yeah, Siobhan in Siobhan here says, like, that's definitely evil. That's against God's plans.
Make an insight check.
That is a 19.
These are not 2 plants that you would try and crossbreed. It just doesn't make sense.
It's just this look. Just the entire time. Just as I cough up a little blood.
So I'm gonna, shoot, yeah, Siobhan wouldn't know that. Jamie just immediately is like, no, I can't, no.
You can always roll an insight check for Siobhan and see if she clocks it.
Alright.
And it would
Nope.
also like do.
What did you get for that insight check, Jamie?
9.
That would be successful with the natural 5 I rolled for persuasion.
I'm gonna say to her in halfling, bullshit.
Her eyes get real wide at it. You speak in the halfling. She will reply to you in halfling. Right. So, a cousin of mine was here visiting, and he's been reading strange books, and this may have been a result of that. And he didn't mean any harm, but obviously harm happened, and I just don't want him to get into trouble.
Oh, sorry, Siobhan, go ahead.
I was like, this was all in halfling, so unless you spoke that language, nobody knows what's happening. So, I'm gonna say, against, is he still around?
He is.
So, trying to think how to play this. Why don't you let us talk to him? And I don't know why I've forgotten the Irish. Oh, I only have the Irish accent when I'm not speaking halfling. There you go. I said, why don't you let us talk to him, and we can hopefully stop him from making the same mistake in the future.
Make either a persuasion or an intimidation check. Your choice.
Oh, because my charisma's really good, so either way.
Real quick, just as you're doing this, with Kira looking as rough as he is, it's not much, but I am going to go ahead, stand next to him, cast Wither and Bloom, so you can roll a hit die worth of recovery.
Thank you.
That was a intimidation's better, but I am going to instinctively like the halfling, so I use charisma, or persuasion rather, which is 16.
Yeah, pretty damn good roll. Okay. Okay. William!
So I just quickly, while she's doing this, turn to the others and say, we have what we hope is a misguided reading of some spells.
And we'll see this very, very slender halfling male come out. You, Siobhan, having grown up with halflings, you could say he's probably late teens, maybe early 20s. And he's just very wide-eyed, very pale skin, short cropped hair. Thank you all for helping protect my cousin's homestead. You all are. We're lucky you came along when you did.
What were you messing with, boyo?
What makes you think I was messing with anything? Just visiting my cousin.
I'm gonna get down
to his face.
Yeah, I'm gonna get down to his level, drop down to one knee and say, I asked nicely once, do you want to do this the hard way or the easy way?
Is this all still happening in Halfling?
No, I've switched to...
This is
okay.
the common.
Yeah.
The common.
As soon as she called for her cousin, I said that, we're hoping this was some misguided.
Well, he reaches into his cloak and pulls out this charred tome. You can see where it just looks like this arcane blast tore through the majority of it. Like he kind of opens it up sort of to the middle, which is about where he was, and you can see this central burning. It has burned the center of the pages all the way to the back cover, and in the other direction, it completely blew a hole out through the front cover. I was doing some reading, and I was experimenting with some of the information within, and then all this happened, and oops.
I'm just gonna hold my hand out for the book.
At the word oops, you just see a spark just run up Kira's arm from his hand.
Neil extends the book to you, Siobhan. I thought maybe I could accelerate my learning in the whole arcane practicing thing. It can be a lot of work to learn a lot of those things, and I thought maybe if I could make a connection with a powerful being, perhaps I could glean some of their knowledge.
Do you happen to see what any of those things your age look like?
Yes, they were terrifying.
Right, and that's what happens when you try to make a pact with an evil being. You couldn't summon a unicorn or something nice.
Well, I have to say of languages I can read, I guess my abyssal's a little rusty.
I'm struggling because this is so incredibly stupid. So Siobhan is... Actually, no. I think she's just going to say this.
Mannix is going to send a mental message to Siobhan indicating that he can speak Abyssal. If she needs it.
And I'm just going to, without saying anything, I'm just going to hand the book to you. And I'm going to say, now, I'm struggling because there's no nice way to say this. You're a stupid lad. And this could have been much worse. But we're probably feckin' cousins. So, I kind of turn to look. I am not going to let Kira kill you, because he'd very much like to right now.
Thank you.
That does get a look. Kira gets a look from Pohaku at that.
Kira's glare is unchanged.
That's fine.
And I say, I start to ask Kira a question, realize he's too mad, so I turn to the other two wizards in the party and say, Could we perhaps suggest another line of study that might be more productive and less damn fool stupid?
Yeah,
You're going to have to be more specific than that.
I'm just going to go
I
ahead.
feel-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I feel as though most of the mystical arts may be a bit beyond someone such as this. Maybe stick to farming? Just a thought.
And I've gotten pretty good at I can do this, and he holds his hand and you watch as this small sprout grows up out of his palm.
I'm going to face him and do the same and smile at him. That's probably the first time I've broken eye contact with Kira since this has happened as well.
Kira's glaring so hard you cannot even see his eyes.
Pohaku, yeah, I'm going to go up to him, and with everyone glaring at him, I'm just going to kind of reach out my hand. He's got the bloom in his hand. I've got one happening in mine as well. So I just kind of reach out and kind of like motion for him. Here, why don't you come with me? And if he does follow, I'm trying to lead him outside.
He will follow you.
So I'm just going to kind of take him over to like this area over here, what looks like kind of the farm and garden area. And I'm just going to tell him, they're not wrong. Wasn't the smartest way of doing things. But sometimes it just takes a little patience and instruction. And I'll show him some of the tattoos. It took me a long time to figure out how to do most of this. But maybe instead of what you were looking at over there, I'm just going to go ahead and just cast a mold earth and kind of like till the soil a little bit for him. Maybe we could focus that on something else.
Okay. I am sorry.
Make smarter decisions. I get wanting to speed things up, but that's not always the best way of doing things.
You guys can keep what's left of the book.
Oh, that was happening.
I don't really want it anymore.
I'm glad to hear that. I will spend I know there's not a mechanic for this, but I will spend as much time as I can with him, just going over the motions for Mold Earth with him.
Natural 20. You find he's a very quick study when it comes to practical application, being actually shown the magic, and he just clearly just has this inherent wisdom about him in the way that he's able to cause these things to create. Manix. Go ahead, Phoenix.
Just a real quick question. You used a word there. You said wisdom. Is Pohaku sensing this is more druidic magic or wizardly? Okay.
You definitely sense inherent druidic talents, and he has the mental aptitude for wizardry.
Oh.
Okay.
Like the intelligence, the potential for the wizardry is there, and just sort of the inherent wisdom. This was just making bad impulsive decisions.
All right. Did we get his name?
William.
William.
Right.
Okay. I'm just going to tell him. So, and sorry, I'll let you get back to it. I'm just going to tell him. You know, William, you might just need a little bit of guidance. I'm gonna call some people. Don't be surprised if you hear from them.
Okay.
I think maybe with the right tutor, we can make this work out.
I'll be here. And
Sounds good.
I'm not going anywhere for a while.
Probably a good decision.
I think so too. And Mannix, you'll notice kind of thumbing through what's left of this book. There's some stuff in it that definitely jumps out to you, not just in your ability to read Abyssal. 'Cause Abyssal is one of the, if not the oldest language. Only really spoken by incredibly ancient creatures. And what you're able to see here, your patron, the first creature to ever exist, the old man, as you've often referred to. This was something that was trying to make a connection with him. It obviously went very wrong, and some other creature of great power was wrapped up in this. But looking through it, you're going, oh, that's who he was trying to reach. And as bad as this went, part of you's thinking, this may have served the lad better than if he had actually made that connection. Because as you know from your patron, he can be quite the petty, fickle individual.
A touch. Is there anything else in the book that could be of use, or anything that may, at some point down the line, be helpful?
Make an Arcana check.
It happens at least once a session, but 9.
These pages are really charred from whatever blast that happened. I mean, fragments of sentences here or there. You quickly think that if you did see any meaning in them, it would probably be meaning that you were wanting to be there. It's just too fragmented to have any idea what any of it was saying.
If we were to try to make something work based on those fragments, something would be more than likely to go poorly than well, I would guess.
Exactly.
Oh, very well, but hold on to this so it at least doesn't fall into someone else's hands, because we got very lucky that something worse didn't happen.
The woman, Sarah, who was speaking to you all, is like, I can't thank you guys all enough for what you did here. People could have been hurt a lot worse than they already were.
Mm-hmm.
Was anyone hurt here?
Oh, no, I was referring to all of you. I didn't want to say someone could have gotten hurt and be completely callous and not act like I didn't notice your wounds. You all risked yourselves to help strangers. The gravity of that's not lost on us.
Well, thank you for the wine. Normally I would not take payment, but it did hurt. Wait, did I get hurt?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, after I raged, nobody even tried.
Least we could do.
Yes, we'll not looking at Kieran. We'll not report it. But
it's out of my jurisdiction.
But I hope not to hear any problems coming from this quarter again.
I don't think William will be dabbling in things he shouldn't. we'll be keeping an eye on him.
2 if you can spare it.
Without question, and there will be quite thorough supervision for some time.
I will have wandered back in at this point, and I'll just let them know he's got talent.
Oh, that's...
I'm going to be putting him in touch with some folks. He's looking for shortcuts. Obviously, that's not the way to do things. But I think with the right guidance, he's got talent.
Well, thank you. It's a kindness I don't know if we fully deserve, but I'm certainly not going to turn it away. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
let's go, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her some sort of joke, whatever the halfway equivalent of sup or whatever, but look respectful.
Right.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. And I'll take Kira by the elbow because he's glaring too hard to be able to see, and so he can. So I'm going to say, we're going to walk away, and I'm going to say to Garnet. So are there not schools around here for magic?
Let's see. Garnet, you would know that down there's only really one, and getting in is tough. It's the Academy of Ingenuity, and they also focus a lot more in the talents of artifice than in a lot of the more traditional magics. So even if somebody does have a lot of aptitude in wizardry, you're talking thousands of potentials for maybe 50 spots a year.
Yeah, it's not really what we do. Except for, the truly obnoxious elite. Then they go to that school.
It's really funny. In my head, I was like, is it Harvard from... Yeah, okay, it's Harvard.
MIT.
MIT. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a legacy place, too.
Well.
Those who have great aptitude for artifice, getting in...
Oh, this makes more sense for MIT, yeah.
Lot higher chance, because there's far more openings. There's also very few instructors there that teach traditional wizardry.
All right, well, that was exciting.
Yeah. I think we're going to a magic shop.
You are all on your way to Rising Sands. And it doesn't take you terribly long to find said shop. The name of it, there's this very large, kind of slightly askew hourglass that sits between the words Rising Sands on the exterior, and you can see that the sands in the hourglass seem to continually rise, and they pour down from the top back to the bottom and upwards, sort of this Ouroboros of sand that just keeps flowing upward.
Kira's just going to, I guess, stagger in, just set a big pouch of gold on the counter. Just health potion. Biggest one you got.
And looking back at you, these two very large peering eyes in a feline face, sort of like this this bright orange tabby fur. Oh, you look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest one we got, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just realized, Kira, how hurt are you?
Oh, close to death.
Okay, so pardon for trying to retcon this. I mean, I would cast Wither and Bloom up to 5 more times for you, like without a second thought.
Honestly, it's funnier this way.
All right, I cast it twice more. You're not going to talk him out of that if you're looking that shitty.
Yeah.
I will use all of my 2nd level spells, but I will hold off on using the 3rd level, so you can spend 2 more hit dice. I did not realize you were that badly hurt.
Oh, yeah. Before the first Wither and Bloom, I was down to like 4.
Cool. So yeah, take 2 more hit dice worth of healing.
This is actually like it's still looking. You look like shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel almost exactly half dead.
What happened to you?
Someone dabbling in some things that they shouldn't have caused a problem that we solved. Of the undead variety.
Yeah, kids make mistakes.
Dabbling in things they shouldn't, and you got hurt for it. That is rough. Well, can't make it on.
Kind of one of my bigger pet peeves.
Yeah. Well, I do have some potion of superior healing. That's going to set you back 300 gold for one of those. How many do you want?
Give me 2.
Big spender. I like you. You look like shit, but you got good taste. All right. We can be friends.
Bulk discount here?
Bulk discount?
What if
Probably.
I bought, like,
I mean...
4?
Ooh.
Maybe 250 each?
I like your style. Done. Are you kidding me?
Here, you want to buy 2? I'll buy 2.
Sounds good.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And they set these 4 bottles up there. Those are yours if that is mine, because I love doing business that way. And I'll tell you what, if you keep spending, I might still mark things down a little bit just because I'm feeling generous. You can't just be in the market for potions of healing. I mean, and they look over at Mannix and just how he's, just kind of kitted out in, come on, you can't convince me you're just looking for that.
I just look this good all the time, but we're browsing.
It's a little flashy for my tastes, but hey, if you want to make sure everyone can see you where you go, hey, ostentation, it's not for everyone, but it's for you, it works for you, that's great.
Siobhan in Kira's head is like, it's all right, I'm writing it down. Tabaxi was not having his shite.
So I was hoping for like a magic journal, and we're headed to About Tome afterwards in case that's something you don't have. But I want something where I can write my thoughts, but the book keeps them confidential until I'm ready to recall them.
Ooh, secret journal, secret journal, secret journal. I can do that for you. You've already spent 1,000. Tell you what, 15 gold. I will throw in a journal of secrecy.
Amazing.
Love it. And she pulls out this journal. What color would you like the exterior leather to be? I mean, there are, and every time she snaps her fingers, the color changes. Red, love it. So we're talking like a crimson, a vermilion. How bright do we want it to be?
How about a garnet?
Love it. And you can see it is just this beautiful garnet color. So you'll need to do 2 things.
Okay.
You will want to sign your name where it says property of in there. And when you do so, make sure you create a command word for it. This command word, whenever you seal it, will cause all the pages to be blank until you open it and utter the command word. It'll remember your voice.
I like it. Can I do a command phrase? Or does it have to be a word?
Oh, you can do a phrase if you want. I recommend keeping it under, say, a dozen words or less. If those get kind of lengthy, because then if you forget the exact phrasing on it, that's just going to be a pain in the ass to ever try and remember how to get back into it.
Is that harder to get?
Security is tantamount. What about the rest of you? What can I interest all of you in?
I would say while this is happening, I'm just looking around for what looks interesting.
What would look interesting to Siobhan? Like, there are a handful of like blades and whatnot about. There are a couple pieces of armor, bracers, necklaces, circlets, just all sorts of stuff laying around.
Probably the jewelry. Yep.
Mannix is also interested in perusing the jewelry, maybe some rings, or a clasp for his cloak.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So you do see a couple different rings here. One of which there is a ring that it literally looks like it is made out of shadow itself. There is a ring that it has, and Mannix, you can't read this. You can just see on the inside there's some engravings that are in a bezel. And in the bezel it says the Pact of Blood on the inside of this ring. And then lastly, you see this ring that it kind of ebbs with this bright light every so often.
I would ask about those three.
These are fun. So this one here, and she's pointing at the one ebbing with light. For that, you could use to specify a specific individual and a situation. For example, what is your name, my friend?
Siobhan.
I could say to this ring, I could tell it, Siobhan, if I run out of wine, and it would send a mental alarm to you, it would even awaken you if you were sleeping, and as long as I let you know that those were the conditions, you would be aware of this. So it is a ring of mental alarm, where you can make sure that someone else could be aware. You would obviously want to tell them the conditions of the ring that you set up with them, but it's a way to send them a message that only they will hear if certain conditions are met. This one, and it's the one that has the abyssal writing in it, I would only sell it to the right person, as it deals in some very questionable magic. Should a creature expire near you, you could extract its remaining essence to be charged within the ring itself, and using that essence, you could use it to enhance a moment of your own ability, giving you perfect clarity in an instant. Now, mind you, This has to be a creature that you witness the death of, that you would take the last of that essence. I would make you, you'd have to sign a few things if you wanted to buy that. You would have to go through a questionnaire, both verbal and written, as I'm not selling this to anybody who's kill happy.
And what about the shadowy one?
That one's fun. It strengthens your physical resolve, and if you are within shadows, you can jump from one shadowy place to another. It also allows one to become completely invisible, provided they don't try and create any spells or use any of their weapons and don't step into completely bright light.
I'm gonna guard it. Say, well, thank you.
That very much is a ring of, I want Garnet to have it.
Yeah. I was saying, yeah, I start to glow, so I don't think this would help me very much.
The Ring of Shadows is quite expensive. That does run 6,000 gold.
A little expensive for me. Do you have anything that... So, I have short legs. I don't run as fast as my very tall companions here. Do you have any, boots or slippers or anything that could make me run a little bit faster?
I think I do.
For a reasonable price? That's not 6,000 gold?
All prices are reasonable depending on your funds. I do understand that ring is very expensive. From what I understand, it might be one of a kind. So it
sounds amazing.
Well,
I'm
I'll
gonna
tell you
look
this.
real quick back and forth between Garnet and this shopkeeper. Just kind of doing one of these as they're talking. And then I'm just going to get out the bag of holding and reach in and just start chucking dragon scales onto the countertop. So is this enough? And I will continue. I've got 33 pounds worth of dragon scale.
Have we done all the other things with the dragon scales we wanted to do?
I'm doing this, but I don't know.
So, I don't think we'd ever made any plans.
No, we just kind of took
Thought
them
you
because
would
they're
take them.
valuable.
Yeah.
She is looking at this.
After you've done about 10 or 15, Garnet's gonna be like, stop.
Oh, okay. So I'll put about 15 pounds worth out.
And she's looking at this 15 pounds of dragon scale. She reaches for one and stops. Just, may I examine?
Mm-hmm.
She picks one up and grabs this monocle, and she's looking it over. Adult dragon. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. You look like you harvested these yourself. Did a very good job. You're looking for some boots to make yourself move faster, are you?
I thought this was for the ring, but that can work too.
Well, how would you appraise these scales? Let's start there.
Appraisal of dragon scale is difficult, as you need somebody who has a use for them to have any value. They carry very little monetary value on most markets. I'll tell you that honestly. However, you happen to walk into the shop of somebody who has quite the use for some dragon scale, as I can have these worked into both weaponry and armor And that fetches a pretty penny. Now, this amount of scale can probably only enchant one suit of armor with it. I'll tell you what. Those boots you're asking about? These scales for the boots, we'll call it a done deal.
15 of the 33 that we have.
Garnet will mentally connect with the folks in the shop and just make sure folks are okay with this.
We really didn't have anything else we were going to do with those scales, so...
Do we want to divulge? Do we want to keep the other half back? We had more than this.
I mean, if it could get you that ring, then I would say it's worth it.
We have more. We've got about double this.
Got some teeth and claws too.
Teeth and claws I can't do much with. Scales are more my interest.
Do you have a partner that you work with? Or a business arrangement with anyone who this would get you currency with?
Not for the teeth and claws, to be honest with you. A lot of that, that's something you're more likely to find with the folks further west over in Aefiol. They do all sorts of things with claws, teeth, whatever. They're smiths. Amazing the work they do. Not to say that the Glimmering Forge here isn't an incredible smithery, but Halric does sort of his own thing with gem dust and all that. This is not his forte. What else might you all be interested in that we might be able to move the rest of those scales into my possession and not take up space in your packs?
Did we discuss the pricing for the other rings? Specifically the abyssal one.
That one...
I'm guessing spendy, but...
Oh, yeah. That one is 5,000.
It's adorable.
What is the retail of the boots say?
Retail the boots is about 1,000.
Yeah, I'd like some boots of speed, but whatever, if you all are wanting something, or we can say that.
I think getting you that ring would be the only thing that, or the best thing that we could try and finagle.
How do we get that ring?
Well, if you want to go no boots for that amount of scales, I could knock a third of the price off.
That still brings it to 4,000.
We'll knock 2/3 of it off if we give you the remaining scales then.
There comes a point where the scales become too many scales, I'm not going to lie to you.
I mean, I still don't have that, so...
What if I were to throw in, now this is something that's very important to me and I don't depart with it easily. I'm going to reach in and get one of the fruity army men and just set it down on top of the scales.
That I could not let you part with.
I insist.
So do I. Garnet, go ahead and give me a persuasion check on
Put it
this.
back into the bag.
Where'd you go, character sheet? Sorry, I apparently got rid of my character sheet. Persuasion, so that is 23, and add 2, so 25. Because I'm
25. Looks. I can see the Ring of Shadows. Has your interest piqued? I'll tell you what. If you're willing to do a favor for me, we might call this a deal.
Okay. What's the favor?
I have a delivery I need made. And as you can see, I have a business to run, so I can't exactly do it myself. I need a package delivered to the Tower of the Raven within the kingdom of Eyjafjall. All you need to do is go there and simply tell them that Answered Riddle has a delivery. They'll know who it's from. They all know me there. And then also, when that is completed, I will need you to go to the heart of the steel timber and deliver an order request for me. Now, you can do this in either order you wish, but I require more steel timber, and I require a package delivered. You do both. Send word to me that it's done. I'll have the ring sent to you.
What's the package? What's your timeline? Yeah.
I'll answer the second question first. I don't move big-ticket items very often. I'm not going to lie to you. So as far as the timeline, I'm willing to take it out of my inventory for 1 year. Because looking you all over, you get around.
Well, Manic certainly does.
That I believe.
You described as an accurate statement.
Some people like to fish in peculiar streams, and I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum.
I just never understood why one would just cast one hook when you can use a net.
Well,
Brigitte, and here to start listing names.
in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Nat, Brigitte, Carl.
As far as what the delivery is, it's quite exciting. It is a box that I advise none of you open. Not that it would be easy to do so. And inside, there is a very lovely suit of armor that I have gone through much difficulty to get a hold of. This is a gift back to them for favors done long past. And let's just say, if I were to try and deliver this myself, there are those who would take notice of my not being here, might put two and two together of what I'm doing and cause problems for the delivery. So, you deliver the armor to the Tower of the Raven. You submit my order at the Heart of the Steel Timber. And all you have to do is get word back to me that both are done. I will, of course, verify, and upon verification, the Ring of Shadows is yours.
Okay.
It's a deal. If you'll excuse me a moment. She goes back beneath the counter and comes up, and there's just this small, like, almost the size of, like, a cigar box. She slides it onto the table, and she holds up a scroll that's bound, has a wax seal on it. She taps the scroll for the Heart of the Steel Timber, and she gestures at the box. Tower of the Raven.
Kind of a small box for a suit of armor.
It is. Upon opening, the demiplane that is contained within that box will completely implode, releasing the contents.
Got it. Okay.
Well, let's just make sure to put that box in a regular backpack.
Is she is taking the dragon scale? Yay or nay?
She'll take the dragon scale and still trade you for the boots.
Okay, so
Yeah.
15 pounds of the dragon scale is what we're giving her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She sets the boots of speed up there. Those are yours.
All right.
Yep,
Rogue
18
go
pounds
fast.
remaining.
Rogue go fast.
It's really hard with the rope can only move 25 feet.
But so fast!
Yeah, in my book, those boots are actually priced a bit higher, and I was like, those are overpriced. No. Like, that's, no. I'm not charging that much for those. And I can do that. And so, yeah, answered Riddle, she will, well, I thank you very much for your business and for our arrangement. And you watch as she waves her hand over the rings, and you see the Ring of Shadows disappears. Out of my stock, as I promised.
Thank you.
Should you need anything else while you're here in Tinkerborough, please come by and visit. We do have a fairly often rotating stock, and it is always a pleasure to do business with those who have traveled far and wide.
All right.
And as you all set out from the Rising Sands, on your way to head to About Tome, we'll save that for next time to see what kind of books are there, and you'll get to meet the Tortle shopkeep of that place.
You can't just tell us there's a portal and not let us see the portal, though.
Yes, I can, and that's what I did, because that is for then, not for now. Thank you all for joining us for this. I'm excited for a Tortle when we see what sort of turtly chaos awaits.